This is the story of a church that held the power of kings, of popes who signed their names on documents that decided everything, of millions of people kidnapped from Africa and sold, and a new pope in 2026 who finally broke the mold. His name is Pope Leo XIV, born Robert Francis Prevost, a man from Chicago, but his roots go deeper than most. In the year 1452, Pope Nicholas V put pen to paper. He issued a bull called Dum Diversus, a world-changing caper. He told King Alfonso V of Portugal, go ahead and conquer, invade, search out, capture every pagan, every non-believer, reduced them to perpetual slavery. Those were the exact words, and the Catholic Church gave it the stamp of God. That's what occurred. Then in 1455 came Romanus Pontifex, another official letter. This one locked sub-Saharan Africans in the chains, even tighter and better. Pope Calixtus III renewed it in 1456.
Sixtus IV
in 1481. Pope Leo X confirmed it again in 1514.
The damage was done.
Spain got authority over the Americas through similar papal decrees, and millions of Africans were shipped across oceans in chains on the seas. The church told the world that enslaving pagans was an act of charity, that bringing them into Christianity justified their captivity.
This was the doctrine of discovery, blessed from the Vatican's throne. Portugal and Spain built their empires on bones, on blood, on stolen homes.
18 centuries passed before the church said this was wrong. 18 centuries of silence while the suffering went on.
Pope Leo XIII finally called it out in 1888 in his encyclical in Plurimis.
But by then, the world had already started its own abolitionist witness.
Now it is May the 25th,
2026,
and the Vatican is speaking.
And the Vatican is speaking.
Pope Leo XIV stands before the world,
and the moment is
groundbreaking.
He opens paragraph 176 of Magnifica Humanitas, his first encyclical.
And what he says next for Black Catholics everywhere becomes historical.
It is impossible not to feel deep sorrow for the suffering and humiliation endured by so many. For this, in the name of the church, I sincerely ask for pardon. And he meant
every penny.
Now here is what makes this pope different from every pope before. His own blood carries the story of slavery right to his core. His maternal grandparents were Joseph Martinez and Louise Baquier. Census records described them as black and mulatto in the USA. Martinez was born in Haiti.
Baquier was born in New Orleans.
Creole people of color,
that is what his family history means.
His ancestor Marie-Louise was born into slavery in Louisiana soil.
She broke free and became a landowner through generations of toil.
Another ancestor, Marie Jane, gained her freedom and owned over 1,000 acres.
But also owned 20 enslaved people.
The Pope's family tree carries both makers and breakers.
He stands at the intersection of those who were chained and those who held chains.
And he chose to stand before the world and acknowledge all of that pain.
The encyclical is not only about slavery,
it is also about artificial intelligence,
about how the digital revolution creates new forms of human indifference,
about miners in poor countries digging rare minerals for AI chips
with no protection.
Leo links the transatlantic slave trade directly
to today's forms of exploitation and subjection.
In 2023, the Vatican repudiated the doctrine of discovery,
but never killed the actual bulls.
Now in 2026, Leo goes further,
owning the institutional role of opposed.
It's not just individual Christians who sin,
but the Holy See itself, the central seat of power. Scholar Rev. Christopher Kellerman said,
this is a truly remarkable hour. Now it is
May the 25th,
2026,
and the Vatican is speaking.
And the Vatican is speaking.
Pope Leo XIV stands first encyclical. And what he says next for black Catholics everywhere becomes historical.
Neither can we deny or diminish the delay with which the church came to denounce slavery.
For the first time,
My Pope condemned the papal bulls and the institutional bravery of cruelty. Historian Shannon D. Williams
said the church was never an innocent bystander.
Black Catholics waited generations to hear the Vatican
Stop its wonder. Anthea Butler from Oxford said this apology was necessary and overdue.
The Knights of Peter Claver,
The largest black Catholic lay organization,
said thank you.
Leo warned,
If the church does not confront today's exploitation clearly,
one day a future pope will have to apologize again
for failing
humanity sincerely.
The apology has been spoken. The words are now in the air. But words without action leave a wound that continues to tear. The church has asked for pardon, and the world is now watching close. The question is not what was said. The question is, what comes next? The most. The Knights of Peter Claver stood up and said they received the apology with open arms. But Shannon D. Williams reminded everyone that acknowledgement alone does not heal the harms. She said the Catholic Church was never an innocent bystander in white supremacy's rise. That black nuns were segregated inside the very church that now apologizes. Jesuit scholar of Christopher Kellerman said he has quibbles with the exact wording used. That a future document needs to go deeper into how the church expanded and excused. Because saying sorry without naming the specific mechanism of each century of sin leaves historians and descendants still waiting for the full truth to begin.
The Vatican visited Angola before the encyclical was released. Leo prayed at the sanctuary of Mama Muxima, where the slave trade never ceased. He stood at a site that was a major hub of Portugal's colonial slave export, but he did not mention slavery by name there.
That detail fell short.
So the apology lives in paragraph
176 of a document about AI,
tucked inside a conversation.
about technology.
And many are asking why.
Why was the most historic confession of institutional sin placed beside a discussion of machines? Black Catholics say they are grateful,
But they also know what that placement means.
the three papal bulls, dumb diversus, Romanus Pontifex and Indicator, still technically stand. The Vatican repudiated the doctrine of discovery in 2023, but never rescinded them by hand. Leo's encyclical does not formally abolish those documents that authorized the slave trade to begin. Scholars say the church must now go further and officially bury the bulls that legalized the sin.
Robert Francis Prevost carries the blood of the enslaved and the enslaver in the same veins. He sits in the chair of Peter, the highest seat of a church still untangling its chains. The apology of 2026 is historic. Nobody is taking that away. But history will judge, not the words spoken on May the 25th.
But what the church does from today.